Hi everybody, happy Monday. My name is Laura Milligan and I am excited to share with you a Facebook Live. It's Monday, June 21st, and thank you for joining me today. If you're new to my Facebook Lives, my Facebook page, thank you for being here. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. It's always great to see all of you, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me flip my phone down. Okay, so normally what I do is every week, whatever cards I had made the previous week, I will have a drawing for. And anyone that has shared or left a comment on my Facebook page is entered into the drawing. And so these are the two cards that I made last week. This features the Pansy Patch stamp set, and this one features the Daisy Garden and Daisy Lane, and then of course the Daisy Punch. So if you have joined in today, there's somebody. Okay, there's always a little bit of a delay, and I always hope that once I start, people will be hopping on. So I see Tennessee Grand, my dear friend Sarah, thank you so much for being here today. I will tell you, we have had the craziest weather today. The sun comes out and then it gets really dark and it starts pouring down rain, and it looks like it's about to start pouring down rain again right now, but hopefully we will be able to get through this okay. So these are the two cards that I made last week, and so I have drawn names from all those that left a comment. This one is going to Kathy Tynan. And Kathy, I do not have your address, so you're going to have to send me a message so that I can get this in the mail to you. And then this one is going to Jeannie Rouse. So Jeannie, if I do have your address, so I will get that out to you in the mail either today or tomorrow. There's some people hopping in. Hello, everyone. So are you all having crazy weather where you are today? It has been crazy here, and it's getting really dark, and I feel like it's may start storming again. So I have two cards that I'm going to share with you today, and let me pull in my catalog because this was my inspiration. This is the All Squared Away bundle. It is a stamp set and dies. And when I originally got this brand new catalog and I was leafing through, this caught my eye because I thought it was really different. I was really drawn to these squares with all the little detail. So what I'm going to share with you today are two different cards. Hey everybody, hi Colleen, hi Judy, hi Lisa, hi Debbie, hi Rosie. Thank you all for joining in. So I'm going to start out, and what I'm doing is using these cards right out of the catalog for my inspiration. Now the two I'm sharing today are a little bit on the simple side, but I am going to be showing more projects throughout the week on my blog, which is lauramilligan.com, and I'll be sure to share them here as well. But I am starting out with this card here today, and you know, sometimes it's hard to think of an idea if you're, trying to think of a card to make and you want to, try something different. Don't forget to look in the catalog because it is a great source of inspiration. And, Stampin' Up! Has a whole department of artisan designers, their design team, and they come up with beautiful, beautiful things. And so I'm going to use this card as my basis for my first card today. But I changed the color scheme. I think they used Fresh Freesia. I'm going to use Pale Papaya. So let me get all my little parts and pieces out here. Okay, I have these little flowers. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I think the rain is definitely coming here. I'm sure I won't make it through this without getting some rain here. So I'm going to bring in my grid paper. And I'm going to start by stamping my greeting. And I have just this little strip of paper here, and let me show you the stamp set. I'm going to use the You Are So Worth Celebrating. Now, what the sample in the catalog let me pull this up again. So their card is square, and I wanted to make a traditional size card so that it would fit in a regular envelope. So my card is going to be a little bit longer, and I used a different shape and a different word for my card. And then, of course, I already told you I'm switching up the colors. Rather than the fresh freesia, which I love, I am using pale papaya. So I'm going to start with my words, and I am using "You Are So Worth Celebrating." Perfect for a birthday card. So I've mounted this on my block, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this right there. Okay, and you know what? I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to ink it up again. I had just cleaned these stamps, and I think sometimes when you, after they're clean, it helps to get a little extra ink on them. So I'm going to go ahead and there. That looks better. And of course, we all love that our paper has two sides, because if you make a boo-boo on one side, you just flip it over and nobody will know, right? It's our little secret. Okay, the next stamping that I'm going to be doing is actually on my Stamparatus. Now, you wouldn't have to use the Stamparatus, but I think for something like this, it works perfectly. So what I have done, so if you've never used the Stamparatus before, it's a stamp positioner, and it allows you to position stamps the way you want them to be, and you can stamp them over and over and over again and get perfect placement each time. So I went ahead and put my stamps, these are these four squares. They have really cute different patterns. So I have put those all together, and normally what I do to line these up is I would take my panel and place them where I want them to be, and then you close the lid and the stamps stick right to this plate of the Stamparatus. So that's, now that I have that positioned, oh, hello, Sandra Shue, my friend Sandra. I'm here by myself today. Usually I have either my sweet friends, Renee or Sandra here, so if I forget something, they always come to my rescue, but I am on my own today, but hopefully things will be okay. So I have these stamps positioned. I have one magnet from my Stamparatus that I'm using to hold this panel in place, and I'm just going to go ahead and give these stamps a good covering of ink. And I position this so that they will be on the left-hand side of my card panel. I'm going to go ahead and just push that down, and I like to just kind of rub my hands across that to make sure I'm getting a good impression. Okay, and that looks pretty good. The nice thing though about doing the Stamparatus is if I want to get this a little bit darker, all I have to do is go back and add some more ink. Oh, I can hear the thunder coming. And re-ink it and push it down again. And I'm using pretty firm pressure. These are 4 pretty big detailed stamps. So let's see. And you can see that's a lot darker coverage, and I love that, so I'm happy with that. So I'll go ahead and pull that out. That's the beauty of the Stamparatus though. If you do it once and you want it to be darker, you just re-ink it and do it again. It's a great tool I think every stamper should have. Okay, let me set that aside. Okay, so now I'm ready to put this card together. So I am taking my thick white base, and I'm going to grab my bone folder. I've already scored this with my trimmer. I like to use the scoring blade on my trimmer, but I'm going to give that a nice good crease, and my card is going to be this orientation. So I'm going to go ahead and position this on my card front. Don't you just love that pale papaya color? It really is one of my favorites. Actually, I think I would have a hard time picking my favorite color of our new ink colors. I think they're all really great. So this I'm going to pop up with my dimensionals. These are just little, people have funny names for them. The real name is called Stampin' Dimensionals, but some people call them popper uppers, or they're like little pillows. And I love these, and I use them all the time when I'm stamping. It just gives your cards some dimension. So there's that. Then I'm going to take my words, and I'm just going to position that right here like that. And I'm also going to pop this up. So we'll go ahead and put a dimensional on each end. And there's my boo-boo, but as you know, nobody will know that I made a boo-boo, right? That's just our little secret, so don't tell anybody, okay? All right, so I'm going to put that right there. Okay, now I want to finish this card by adding a little bit of interest with some embellishments, and these are adorable. These are the loose flower flourishes. They were new to our catalog, the newest catalog that we have, and I have also cut 3 teeny flowers. These are from the dies. Let me pull those in so that you can see them. They were just cut from these. These are the dies that they're called floral squares. They coordinate with the all squared away stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and use some glue dots and attach those little flowers. I'm going to put all 3 right on my roll of glue dots here, and then I'll just take them off and put them on my card. So I've been doing, you know, when I've been doing these the past few weeks, I've been sharing some simple cards, and then I've kind of stepped them up. And like I said, I'm going to do that this week as well. These cards are pretty simple today, both of them that I'm showing you today, but I have found that, and from the comments I've received, it seems like we all like simple cards. Oh, Mary, I got my magnet holders at, it's called Stampin Storage, and it is an online store. They have all kinds of organizational things for stampers, things to hold ink pads and all that kind of thing, and that's where I got my magnet cards. They're super, super nice. Okay, so now I'm just taking some of these little flower flourishes and just adding some embellishments, and I'm using all the different colors. These are all in colors. This one's fresh freesia, there's pale papaya and polished pink, and they just add some fun, some cute, right? They just add some cuteness to the card. One more. I'm going to fill in all these little holes on my die cut flowers. All right, so there is my first card. Super, super simple. And let me pull in again. This was my inspiration. Like I said, it was right from the catalog, and you can see the card in our catalog is square, and it's a different color. I used a different greeting, but again, don't be afraid to look at the catalog for ideas, because they are pros at this, and they have, like I said, artisans that create these samples. So there's my card as compared to that one. All right, I have one more card I'm going to show you, and don't forget to leave a comment. Show me some love, show me some hearts, and you can be entered into the drawing to win this card next week. Okay, I have one other card today, and it's a little stepped up version of what I did on that card I just made. So I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus again. Yeah, so what do you all think? Are you liking, are you preferring more of like a simple, do you like the simple cards? Do you like, you know, lots of layers, more involved cards, maybe a little bit of each? I'm always curious to what you like. So for this card, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm taking a 1/4 sheet of my basic white. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to just put my magnet right in the corner there to hold that in place. And I'm also doing this in pale papaya. So go ahead and ink this up. And I know some of you watching have already registered for my Christmas in July. I've had a great response. I'm super excited about it. The projects are super, super cute. And if you haven't registered yet, registration does end June 29th, next Tuesday. You don't want to miss out because it's going to be a really fun day. And if you're not local to me, it's also going to be offered as a to-go. You can do it virtually. I will ship your whole entire box of fun and cute to you. I'm going to ink this up again, just like before, because I want this to be pretty dark. So I'm going to go ahead and press this down again. Give it a good pressure. And that looks really good. Okay. And here comes the thunder. And my Charlie boy does not like thunder. So we'll see how we go here. All right. So then what I did, and of course those of you that watch my Facebook Lives know that wherever I am, Charlie is. So he is right here with me and he does not like thunder. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to add, for this one I'm doing something different. I'm going to stamp my greeting right on this square as opposed to adding another layer. The best thing about today is you. And for this I'm going to use the soft succulent ink again. And I'm going to stamp this on my scrap paper first because I just want to make sure that I have it on there straight. I put it on there this morning, but I just want to make sure it's nice and straight. So this is soft succulent ink. And that's going to go right on there. The best thing about you is today. And then what I did was I took a piece of basic white and picked one of the dies. I happen to like this one a lot. And so I ran this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. These dies are so cute. You could actually put these through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. But either one that you have, any kind of die cutting machine would work. And so that is how this came out. Yes, Colleen, I think a lot of dogs don't like thunder. Okay, and Debbie says she likes both. The challenge is good sometimes. That's true. That is very true. So I'm going to take this and pop this up, and I'm going to use my mini dimensionals and just put these on this square just behind so that it can't be seen. I'm just going to put a few of these back there like that. But you could make a lot of this card very quickly, either the first one that I did or this one as well. And the nice thing is once you have those squares positioned on the Stamparatus, you could just take your 4x5 1/4 and just, you know, change up the color and just make some so that you have them on hand. That's what I like to do. Once I get things set up on the Stamparatus, I want to take advantage of that. All right, so I'm going to just position this right over this square like that. So that's kind of the focal point. And then to finish this, I'm going to go ahead and just add some more of my flourishing loose flower flourishes. That's what they are called, loose flower flourishes. These, I'm loving these. I think they're super cute. So anyway, like I was saying, if you have not registered for my Christmas in July event, I hope that you will. Sandra and Renee and I will be working really hard to make it very special for you. We love pampering and spoiling you. It's going to be a fun day, whether you can come in person or virtually. So I will add the link, the registration link, when I'm done here with this Facebook Live. I'm also towards the end of my Friendly Flamingo class. Unfortunately, the stamps, the Friendly Flamingo stamps have sold out. The dies are still available, but you can still take my class without the stamp set. If you don't have it, you can just substitute, you just basically substitute words that you probably already have on hand, and I will show you how to create the flamingo just using the dies. The dies are still available. So that registration ends on Monday, and I'll put a link for that as well. My classes to go are really fun. It's almost as good as stamping with me. No matter where you live, you can join in. All right, so I'm going to take my basic white card base, give it a good crease, And I'm going to go ahead and just position that right over that. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal. And position that right in place. And again, this is pretty quick and easy, but just stepped up a little bit by cutting one die. And you could use any of the dies with this, and I will be doing that this week on my blog, and I may pop in and share some things here as well on my Facebook page. So be sure to tune in. If you go to lauramilligan.com, that is my blog. And so let me pull these two cards in for today. Let's get this out of the way. Here's my two cards. Tell me which one is your favorite. I like them both. I think there's nothing wrong with a quick, easy, simple card, but I like that it has stepped up just a little bit. Yes, you're right, Wendy. The die really does. It just makes it pop. And you can see, let me show you. Here is this card that was made by Stampin' Up, where they have used all 4 of the dies, which is what I'll be showing you later this week in my own color scheme. So those are my cards. And I'm going to flip back up. I don't know if you can, Charlie, there he is, right there. There's my boy. He does not like the thunder. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment if you want to share this Facebook Live. If you have friends that like to be crafty that you think would enjoy this, I appreciate you sharing with them. Don't forget to register for my Christmas in July or my Friendly Flamingo, or both. Both classes are going to be great. And as always, I appreciate so much you watching today, and I hope you have time to be creative today. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day.